Well, thanks for ruining the interview.
Yeah, sorry.
You've had your turn, alright? It's my turn.
You'll be fine.
I consider myself a soccer playing comedian. The truth is, I'm just a much better comedian than I am a soccer player. And that's kind of my role on the team. I think my team is to keep morale up, and I may not have the most technical skills, but when I do play, I play with my elbows and my knees, and you come by me, you remember, and that's kind of my job is just hurt you and then make you laugh about it. I was born in Cameroon, West Africa. I am African American. That's where my love of soccer comes from. I mean, I'm a huge Cameroon fan of the Indomitable Lions. The Lion Indomitable. It's amazing, like, the love of soccer in other parts of the world, like, watching kids play. Like, we didn't have a soccer ball, you know what I mean? Like, we would play with petrified donkey turds. We'd play with coconut husks. We would play with whatever we could get our feet on, I got my love just playing street ball, Soccer's a way out in a lot of countries, It's a way to provide food for your family, to say the least, you know what I mean? Like, that's you lose your game, you go home and play Xbox here,
Yeah.
I don't, but other people do. I'm not very good at Xbox. I was working at an Easter Seals camp in Colorado, and one of my coworkers, she had CP, and she was playing. She was a swimmer for the Paralympics, and she just saw me kicking the ball around on one of our days off or whatever, and she's like, "Wow, you're pretty good. You know about the Paralympics?" I'm like, "I'd never even heard of it before." She's like, "There's a team for you, right?" I'm like, "Hmm." And she, for some reason, she had our coach's email address, and she gave it to me on this tiny little scrap of paper. And I remember I carried this scrap with me for probably 3 months before I got the courage to send him an email. And I was really nervous just about it. I remember my email was, "Hi, my name is Josh Blue. I'm 22 years old. I have cerebral palsy and I'm a damn good soccer player." And the coach wrote back, "Oh, nice to meet you, Josh Blue. Well, I was looking for damn good soccer players." And then, like, 2 weeks later, they flew me to DC for a tryout, and been a member ever since. The facilities weren't the best, and some complications came about, and when I came out, I was a comedian. I got stared at a lot just because it was almost like, seeing a white person there is rare, but then seeing someone with a disability is even more rare, and a lot of times it was kind of like, wow, they have them too, look, so I kind of was like the spectacle. Just the fact that she picked me, like it was her choice to pick me, to be the first stand-up on her show, and like what an honor. Like, seriously, she's one of my favorites. I've admired her growing up. I've admired her stand-up. She's a brilliant writer. She's got just a sharp wit, Whenever I get to meet someone that I really admire, I always try not to, like, quote their material to them. Like, I love when you say this, I was just, like, consciously not, don't do that. And then she did that to me. She's like, "I love your joke when you do this." And I was like, awesome. Like that, what more encouragement do you need to continue on, I have been branching out a lot in my artwork. I have a showing, gallery opening coming up in September in Denver. It'll be my third gallery opening. And I've always done these kind of faces of kind of sad. Like, I can't paint anything happy. I don't know why. Like, I guess because I do so much happy stuff in comedy that, like, it just is my outlet for sad stuff. I bought a house and it came with probably 300 cans of half gallons of paint, you know? And I've just been taking it and like dumping it and mixing it and doing like these big canvases, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been just really enjoying it. And I'm still doing a lot of wood sculpture. And that's definitely West African influence. Like, that's where I first fell in love with wood carving, and it's cool to like see a piece of wood and go, that's whatever, you know, and then make it happen. It's also very dangerous, but you know, I was using like all kinds of power tools, and I want to say it was a Dremel, but it was like more powerful than a Dremel. And it like got caught on my shirt and just like, just like, basically like ripped it off me in like a split second. Like, oh, okay. You know, I've grazed knuckles and cut things, and you know, but it just makes me want to do it more. You know, like it's like this is creating. You know, you see the blood stains on the wood, and you know I really put my heart into it. Palsy. No, you know, I got to hang out with King Gimp, man, and I mean, he's a far better painter than I am. I mean, I look up to that guy a ton. Maybe it comes from that same dark spot, you know, the same angst or whatever it is that having a disability and being the outsider creates. It's cool. Like, it's cool that you compare me to him. I don't, you know, I don't think I'm anywhere near that guy. You know, he's spectacular. I guess the most obvious answer is it made me famous. And being famous is way different than not being famous. At a young age, I realized that people were gonna stare at me, not necessarily from being malicious or mean. It's just human nature, and I kind of wanted to be stared at for a different reason. And be careful what you ask for, because it has happened. You know what I mean? People go, oh my God, you're Josh Blue, as opposed to like, why is that guy walking like that? You know, there's still people who don't know who I am and just look at me like I'm some drunk homeless guy. So it's now I have like, you can't think of more two opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, can I have your autograph, or like, get away from me, drunk ass? You know. But either way, I asked for change. That's the only reason why I had them, just to switch up the material. No, you know, it's I find it a weird position to be in now, because I have a lot more kids' stories, but I don't want to be that comedian who has a kid, and then that's all I talk about. One thing I found is that it affects me in the way that I just long to be home more. Like, being on the road, being here playing soccer. Like, I've never felt this way before. I just miss them, and I want to see their growth, like, every day at this age. Like, being a dad really is my biggest achievement. Like, I've always wanted to be a dad. Now, being a husband is a different story. Like, I'm a very big nature enthusiast. Like, I love hiking, and I consider myself to be kind of a survivalist. Like, you know, you could probably drop me off in the woods and I could be just fine, you know, eating squirrels and worms and shit. I love nature. I attribute a lot of that to being in Africa and seeing just how nature at its fullest. Like you can't get any more wild than Africa. Like just I feel really at peace when I'm in the woods. Like I feel like no one's judging me there. It's me versus the world, and the world will silently kick your ass and not say anything about it. I love what I do. It's exciting to make people laugh for a living and play soccer and travel the world. I feel very fortunate that I'm able to, a lot of people dream of being a comedian and they never get to do it. Or a lot of people dream of playing on a national, being a part of the national soccer team and never get a chance to. And I get to do both those things and be a parent and an actor. And, it's like, I just keep trying to like push it to the next level. Like, I just have a lust for life. Like, I want the next thing. Like for me, like people are, oh, is Last Comic the best, like, most amazing achievement in your life? I'm like, not even close, you know what I mean? I look at that, like, that day, and I'm like, the next day, I'm like, what's next? Like that's just how I feel, and that's just like my gut. I just want to get it,